Sometimes at the end of a long week of heavy news, I like to kick back with a beer in hand. Now in today's Taiwan by a Number, we will not be drinking beer. However, we will be talking about drinking. Are the two of you ready to guess some numbers related to drinking in Taiwan?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to start off with a very important number, and this is not the number I'm going to ask you to guess, because I think you both know the answer. Do you know what the drinking age is in Taiwan, the legal drinking age?
I think it's 18, right?
18.
Okay, you're both correct. Okay.
We're older than 18, but...
Now, the question I want to start off with today, the real question is, what percentage of all the countries in the world have the same legal drinking age as Taiwan?
Oh, wow. I'll say 40%.
40%? Okay.
I'll say 65.
65%. Those are two good guesses. Before we get to that answer, though, we're going to talk about Asian flush. Does this ring a bell with either of you?
Well, you said we're not drinking beer, but do you have like some wine I could demonstrate it for you?
Okay, so basically it's when you drink and then you have kind of symptoms like you turn a little bit red, feel a little bit nauseous perhaps. Well, actually there's a study that found out that Taiwan has the highest percentage of people who experience the so-called Asian flush, because it's more predominant among Asians, but it's highest in Taiwan, higher than anywhere else in the world. 47% of people in Taiwan are afflicted by this. So we're going to show you a report that talks about the science behind it and why people who get Asian flush should be very careful. Let's have a look.
The Asian flush isn't just a physical response to drinking alcohol, it's an enzyme deficiency. People who lack the ALDH2 enzyme cannot metabolize alcohol. This results in flushed faces, respiratory problems, nausea, vomiting, and possibly diseases. Nearly half of the people in Taiwan have this deficiency.
Many Asians have this enzyme deficiency. They have a hard time metabolizing alcohol, so they often don't feel well after drinking.
People who lack the ALDH2 enzyme have a 50 times higher risk for mouth, throat, and esophageal cancers. A Stanford study found that Taiwan ranks top in the world for this enzyme deficiency. It advised these people to avoid alcohol altogether. According to the World Health Organization, in 2016, over 3 million people died from alcohol-related causes. 29% was related to drunk driving or violence. The rest were due to cancer and cardiovascular or other alcohol-induced diseases. Even low-level consumers of alcohol were found to have a 1.26 times higher chance of getting cancer than those who don't drink at all. So it is a good idea to think before you drink, especially if you get the Asian flush.
Okay, before the video, I asked you what percentage of all the countries in the world have the same legal drinking age as Taiwan, which is 18 years of age. Now, Natalie, you said
40%.
40%, and Leslie said 65%. Let's have a look at the answer.
61%.
Oh, wow, you were really close. Very good.
That's pretty good. You're very close at that, Leslie. Now, look at that map. You can see all the countries in blue have the same age, legal age for drinking as Taiwan. The maroon for the United States is at the high end, 21, but the countries in black have the highest legal drinking age, and that is you can't drink at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we're going to move on now to a question about how much alcohol people here in Taiwan drink every year.
Oh, that's interesting, too.
For this question, I want you to guess how many Olympic swimming pools full of alcohol people in Taiwan drink every year.
You mean collectively?
Yes, of course.
I mean, that's at least one.
Just to give you an idea, an Olympic swimming pool
goodness,
is
that's a lot.
50 meters long, it's 10 lanes wide, and it contains 2.5 million liters of water. So how many of those in alcohol does all of Taiwan drink a year? I know this is impossible, but...
100,000.
100,000?
Oh, that's a lot of people walking around.
Okay.
Wild guess.
I'm doing a lot of math in my head here. You know what? I'm going to say 150.
150. Okay. Two very different guesses. Let's have a look at the answer.
282.
Okay, you're closer.
282.
Oh, I got that.
That's okay. My math is not any better. It took me a while, and I actually had a calculator. Now, just to explain that, So 282 swimming pools is actually 700 million liters of alcohol.
Wow.
If you divide that by every man, woman, and child in Taiwan, you get about 30 liters per person. But of course,
You can't do children.
kids are not drinking, right?
Right.
So it's probably closer to above 40 liters per person per
wow.
year.
That's a lot.
It's about a liter, a little less than a liter a week. Does it sound a lot? A little?
I'm going to plead the fifth. Plead the fifth.
Correct answer. All right. Now we have one more question for you today, and this has to do with Kaoliang, which is one of the most popular strong alcohols in Taiwan. It's made by distilling fermented sorghum. Sorghum is a kind of grain. Now, usually this liquor has an alcohol by volume percentage of about 38 to 63%. Now, my question for you is, what is the highest percentage alcohol of any Kaoliang in the world?
90%.
90%, okay.
85.
85%? All right, let's have a look at the answer.
Woo.
Oh, wow.
92%.
That's really high.
And this is made by Wei Distillery, which is located right here in Taiwan.
Wow. Well, that's very interesting, Andrew. And that is Taiwan by Number for the week.